Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm headed to the airport. I'm going to get on a flight and head to Colorado because that is where the Sasquatch Highland 60 is. It's been with the TFL guys for a couple weeks now. They grabbed it from us here in DFW, towed it behind a 2024 Toyota Tacoma all the way to Boulder, and now it's time to go pick it up. Casey left early this morning, so he's actually doing all of the heavy lifting here. He's doing the driving. I had some obligations, so I'm going to fly up there and meet him. And then we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. But make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button and the notification bell because we're going to try to make several videos out of this road trip. We're going to try to kill some time talking about the automotive industry, the off-road outdoor industry, and anything else we can come up with to just bide some time while we're cranking out 1,000 miles. So let's see where this goes, guys. Thanks for watching. Just rolled in, landed in Colorado Springs, and it's time to find Casey. Let's see if he's on time. Long trip for him. Not so much for me. FYI, he did get lost. 10-minute self-inflicted detour, so I'm not going to let him off the hook for that.
I'm going to make you regret this.
You going to let somebody else drive or what?
Yes, gladly.
What took you so long? Went the long way?
Shut
up. All right, we located Roman, and we've been following them up to the TFL Ranch and almost there. Well, guys, good morning from the Tumbleweed Ranch, the TFL home base. So we made it up here last night. Had a pretty rough night, though, didn't we? Yeah, some crazy winds overnight up here on the ranch, like 60 to 70 miles an hour. Most of the night, it didn't let up until about 3 in the morning. But fortunately, Roman put us upstairs above the garage, had a nice, comfortable place to sleep last night. Casey's throwing his phone at me down the stairs. It's not a good move, dude. But yeah, so not what we had planned for, but got to meet Tommy late last night. I got to check out the new Ineos Grenadier that they just bought. She's a beaut. And all right, we're about to go find some breakfast and then see what other mayhem we can find. All right, everybody, checking back in from the road. It has been a big day. We are cruising down the Front Range, headed back to Texas already. Woke up this morning, not a lot of sleep. Like we said, really bad winds last night. It was pretty crazy. Up and at 'em by 6:30. Grabbed a really good breakfast. Where did we go? What was the name of that place?
Lucille something or other.
Lucille's
Like
in Longmont.
Cajun breakfast.
New Orleans style cafe. Very good. Highly recommend it. And then we retrieved the trailer, hitched it up, headed south towards Denver, stopped off at the REI flagship store in downtown Denver. Always a lot of fun. Check that out. Highly recommend it. And then dropped in on 4x4 Colorado, Blaine and the gang. And we're going to preview that video for you right here. So you're just getting a little teaser, okay? But we're going to do a full video. All right, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Hit your notification bell so when that showroom tour drops, you'll get it. Now, what are we doing with the rest of our time?
Like 10 more hours to kill in the car, so.
We do.
Yeah.
We got snacks. By the way, look at these cool hats Casey bought us.
Yeah.
They actually have nice hats.
Yeah.
Experimenting with the new logo, trying to see what you guys might like. There's been a lot going on with the channel and growing like a weed. We crossed 1,000 subscribers near the end of the year. And then we've grown 25% since then. So thank you guys. That's awesome. And I've been trying to put out more content for you guys as well. And on this road trip, we thought one way to kill some time would just be to ask each other some questions about cars, automotive. We'll see where it goes. And bear with us because these questions are probably going to prompt more questions.
Yeah.
We probably have to go over some ground rules along the way. But I'm going to start off with an easy one for you. What is your favorite car that you've ever owned?
That I've ever
owned.
Oh, yeah.
You and your household.
Ooh.
Okay. Most of these questions are related to household. All right. So wife, you. I know. See, right off the bat, this gets real tricky. But favorite car that you've owned? It's been in your garage. You've made payments on it. You put gas in it and insurance.
Yeah, that's a tough one because the wife's daily driver for a while was a 2013 Audi S4, right off the showroom floor. Beautiful Estoril blue.
It was gorgeous.
And that car was awesome. Back then, that was a supercharged V6. Audi has since gone to a turbo V6 again, and not as good in my opinion. That had the dual clutch transmission, which now they've gone back to torque converter automatic transmissions. And, you know, we got a lot of fun memories in that car, you know, back when we were kid free, and, you know, we'd take road trips and stuff, and I could just peg that thing going down the freeway, like, and it was smooth as glass. And that motor, I'm telling you, that's one of the best motors Audi's ever made. I would rash that car going down the freeway, just doing stupid speeds for long stretches of time. I couldn't get worse than 25 miles to the gallon.
Was that the V8?
No, it was a supercharged V6.
That. Supercharged V6.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there was a 4.2 liter V8 before that, right?
Right.
Okay, and then they went to the 6.
But I'll be honest, I can't make that my favorite because I didn't daily drive it.
Okay.
And so I don't have the attachment to it. I honestly should say this car, the LX570 that we're in, because I love it to death. I love all the places it's taken the family. But I have to go with the sentimental choice at a 2003 Audi A4 wagon with Quattro and a manual.
This is the car that started what I would consider an illness in your house.
Yeah.
Oh, man, check that out.
Yeah.
Chicago, man. Oh, some of these vans out here in Colorado are incredible. No, you
You're
went on an Audi wagon fixation, which I'm going to come to another question later that's not on. You haven't seen this question at all.
Oh, okay.
Okay? But it's going to be related.
Yeah. But I have to go with that one. It's the favorite car I've ever owned. I definitely have a sentimental attachment to it. It was just a great car. It had a little Stage 1 tune on it. I had some upgraded roll bars on it, and some upgraded shocks. Yeah. And that car was perfect. The handling on it for a daily driver, and the horsepower it had, it was the perfect daily driver that I've ever owned.
Okay. All right. Well, there might be a little bit of a German theme here in this first question.
Although, are you not going to answer it?
I am going to answer it. I'm going to answer it. Okay.
Are we still on the first question?
We're still on the first question. Okay, you went all the way around. You went on.
Well, we have a lot of hours.
We do have a lot of time. Yeah. All right. There's a couple of contenders here for favorite car I've ever owned.
Yeah.
The first one on the list is the first car I ever drove, which is the '89 Nissan Sentra.
That's a 1990 Nissan Sentra.
1990. I always get it wrong. I think we bought it in '89, but it was a '90. It was brand new, off the lot. My mom bought it. It didn't even come with a radio. She did get air conditioning, thank God.
Dude, that was the only option on that car. Yes. People don't understand that now. That car didn't have a radio, did not have power steering.
Didn't have power steering.
The only option was an air conditioner because we live in Texas and we die without it.
All right, it was a two-door manual transmission car, front-wheel drive, little four-cylinder engine. How many pizzas do you think we collectively delivered in that car?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I ever delivered a single pizza in that. No, that's not true.
He did.
I'm sorry. Oh, man. Yeah,
it went through
I
many
completely
years
blanked. That's right. Boy, it's a lot.
A lot.
That's at least a 4-digit number.
4-digit number. How many pizzas do you think you crammed into that vehicle at one time? 40?
40, yeah.
40 to 50 pizzas.
40, yeah.
All right. Great memories of that car. We used to do Dukes of Hazzard night at the pizza place where you were required to jump in and out of your windows while you were doing deliveries.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to open
No
the door.
doors.
No doors allowed.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. But I still remember how that car drove. I can feel it in my hands right now.
Uh-huh.
It was a blast. I had a buddy in high school who had one just like it. And there might have been quite a few jackass driving to baseball practice, see who could get there first, who could get to Sonic first. Like, there was a lot of inappropriate street driving.
Look, man,
in those Sentras.
Yeah.
Power sliding them in the parking lot with the handbrake was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you have to understand, like, that was, Mom carted us around to baseball practice for years in that
Yes.
car, right? Before we could even drive. And then both of us learned to drive a manual on that car.
Yes.
Really learned to drive, period, on that car. And, you know, it put up with a lot of jackassery.
It did.
A lot.
Now, not my favorite car of all time, but it's definitely up there. She sold it for $200. And I about lost my mind because I had $200 in my pocket. I would have taken it. I've given her $3. Easy.
She sold
Okay.
the Sentra for $200?
Yes. All right. Other car on the list. Actually, I'm going to save that one. I'm going to save it. And then we're going to move to the next. So I had a BMW 328.
I knew this was going to be.
You knew it was going to be on the list.
Yeah.
It was a 2010. And I came across this one in the newspaper, a real newspaper. It was in the classified auto ads as a dealer special. It was white. It was a sport package and had no other options on it. Okay, it was just a base 328i, straight six, and manual transmission, rear wheel drive. I had never driven a BMW before, and I wanted a sedan. I'd had some Audis by then, and I thought, I'm going to go down and check this thing out because it was stupid cheap. And I went down to test drive this car, and within 10 seconds of driving it, I knew I was going to buy it. It drove unlike anything I'd ever driven before. It was not an E46. Okay, it was the gen after. But to me, it might as well have been. It was incredible. I loved that car. Had it for 3 years. And, you know, just like that Sentra, I remember exactly how that thing drives.
Yeah.
Okay. But the favorite car I have ever owned is the one I have now.
Okay.
It's the Jeep JL, the 4xe. I love the Jeep. I love everything about being in the Jeep. It drives Casey crazy because he's not a Jeep guy. But those things are awesome. They're just awesome. They're magic. They're weird. They're loud. They drive like crap. Out of my cold, dead hands. Okay? If the Jeep goes, it will be replaced by a new Jeep. That's the only way that thing is leaving.
Just to be fair, I'm not a Jeep guy, but I love Jeeps for what they are and for what they can do. They're just garbage daily drivers. And I'm sorry if that offends somebody, but they are garbage daily drivers.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're better than you think.
Yeah, they're worse than you think.
All right.
Okay.
Question number 2. The least favorite car you've ever owned. It better be one of those damn Audi wagons.
Yeah, I was torn on this one, but it's the car that I sold my favorite car, let's say, to get into. And it was a 2003, or no, it was like an 05. So it was one of the last ones. Audi all-road with a manual, and it's not that it was a bad car, even though it does have the dubious distinction of being like the most unreliable Audi ever made, which is a pretty high bar. Like, it was one of the worst ones they ever made. But it's not even the reliability that got me. It just never lived up to what I hoped it was going to be, which part of that was my fault as an owner, I think. But coming from that A4, that car based on the A6 platform, it was big, never handled like my A4 did, even though I put upgraded sway bars on it. But I thought, I wanted that big twin turbo V6. I wanted, it had a manual transmission, which was really rare. And yeah, it was fun on the highway to downshift. And, I had, a stage 1 tune on it, made well over 350 horsepower. And that part of it was good, but the car just never really spoke to me the way that, other cars did.
I'm surprised that this is your least favorite, though, because didn't you buy another one, sight unseen, to help fix that one?
No.
Body panels, or was this
no.
So there's another Audi wagon. Sorry, I'm getting confused. There was another Audi wagon that you bought, sight unseen, and we went to pick it up, and it was a whole ordeal, and it turned out to be the wrong color. And we needed the right color because it was body panels.
That one doesn't count because it was never actually, I didn't buy it as like a car. I bought it because I was going to pilfer it for parts.
Oh, okay.
And it was for the A4. It was for the previous car, which I owned them both like concurrently for years.
Illness.
Yes.
There's an illness.
I guess if we're including spouses' cars, maybe my least favorite should be the other all-road that I bought that was an automatic transmission that my wife drove for a while, and then my mom drove it for a while, and it became a pain in the ass to take care of. And in fact, I ended up selling both of them in a package deal to a tuning shop. The guy was basically going to take both of them and make one good car out of them, and probably slap huge turbos in it and make it a really cool car. But I got fed up trying to get that other one going because I went to go put a battery in it one night, a brand new battery, because it wouldn't start. And it started to catch on fire.
I forget all these stories. This is good stuff. Okay, all right. Impromptu question.
Okay.
How many cars have you owned that have been towed to charity? I'm going to tell you what my answer is. 0. Casey, what's your number?
3. Well, no, wait. No. Technically just one. So the A4 ended up getting towed to charity. Both the all-roads got towed away, but I sold them to that tuner shop.
Okay, all right. I should have said just towed away, because I think it might be 4. What happened to the Dakota? Where is it? You told me it was gone. Where did it go?
I don't know, but yes, it did get towed away.
That's a couple of days of my life I'll never get back of working in the Texas heat for a car that never did run anywhere.
It did run. I drove it like 3 miles.
Well, I never rode it anywhere. All right. 0 on this side. Okay. A little more relevant to the channel. This is question number 4, I guess. Favorite car that we have reviewed for the channel?
Yeah. All right. So this is actually an easy one for me because it wins in a landslide, and that is the Jaguar F-Pace SVR. Sorry, man. I remember you getting that car to review and being like, I have to bring this to you right now. And then you turn the corner down the street like 9 o'clock at night in my sleepy neighborhood full of old people who had been asleep for 3 hours already with that loud screaming V8 supercharged, and you were getting on it. And that's definitely the favorite car I've ever owned.
That
Fantastic
car was incredible. I remember we would go out to the highway, and we had these high walls on either side of the highway, and we had these access roads. And so we could just floor that F-Pace going up and down those access roads, and the sound reverberated.
Yeah.
It was
so loud.
Incredible. The F-Types, anything with that engine in it at the time, really was an incredible sounding era for Jaguar.
Yeah.
And they made some neat cars, And They were fast. They looked great. You know, some of the tech was a little laggy.
Yeah, but who cares?
Who cared, man?
It's all about that right foot in that car.
Okay, so you kind of stole mine.
Yeah. Well, it's all right if we come to a consensus. That's okay.
It is okay, but there was a lot of cars that we've reviewed over the years that I really enjoyed. I'll just name a couple real quick. I loved the first Kia Seltos that we ever reviewed, like a full review, not a dealership review. Loved that car. It was a real surprise to us and a real value. And I think to this day still presents a lot of value to people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, gosh. Sorry, I'm dealing with insane crosswinds. Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about cars that like regular people can own, and that I might actually be able to afford, that was a really great car.
That one was a really good one. The Rivian R1S that we bought, I had it for a while so we could review it, and then we sold it. I just really enjoyed that experience overall. Buying the car, everything about it, you know, the quality, a new car. It was the first one, you know, from this brand really. I know the truck technically came out first, but, you know, Rivian being an upstart, I thought that was just super cool. Enjoyed reviewing that one. The Land Rover Defender 110 was a ton of fun. I wish we could do more with that. Maybe we will in the future, because I think that's a really interesting car in its space. But the most fun I ever had reviewing a car was with that dumb Mercedes Sprinter van that they called us up and they go, "We have this van, a cargo van. Do you want it?" I was like, yeah. And I didn't quite know what we were going to do with it, but we ended up having a ton of fun with it that week. A lot of jokes. Did fun stuff with the kids. It was empty.
Yeah.
There's no seats in it or anything. It was a pure cargo van.
Yeah.
And really impressed with it overall. Just
that's a good one. I loved it. I did have a ton of fun reviewing it, and unfortunately, nobody watched that video.
Nobody watched it. Because why would you?
Why?
Who wants to watch, you know, two dudes driving around in a giant empty yellow Mercedes van?
Yeah.
But I will tell you, it was a lot of fun. And, you know, it may actually be a preview of the future, because starting to pay a lot of attention to van life. My wife and I watch van videos all the time, trying to figure out, you know, what's it going to look like in the future? What do we want to travel around in when we get tired of crawling in and out of the off-road expedition camper? Okay. On the flip side, what is your least favorite car that we have ever reviewed? I think I know what you're going to say.
Oh.
I think I know.
Least favorite car that
Least
we've
favorite
ever
car.
reviewed. Gosh. Oh no. I'm going to have to really go through.
I'm trying.
I'm
I
having to
actually
think
can't
about.
even remember the name of the damn
I don't know. Well, there's a problem, and that is we love everything about automotive.
Yes.
And so every car we get in, we find something we love about it.
Yeah.
But least favorite car, you know what? Okay, I think I got it. And it's not that I don't like the car. I just think it was kind of a weird car, and that was the Jag E-Pace.
Oh. Okay.
It just, I felt like it was a car that didn't really know what it was trying to be. I don't know.
Interesting.
A ton of fun to drive.
I loved that thing.
Yeah. Well, from the driver's seat, it was a great car, but I was just like, second row was really weird, so it just didn't seem all that useful as a family. I don't know.
Form factor was really weird. They wanted it to look cool, and that ate into a ton of the space in the back. But overall, I thought it was a really good EV, and, you know, good performance EV. It handled really well. It had those wheels all the way out to the corners. But you're right. They, you know, for you and one other person, really. Okay.
Yeah.
You've forgotten about something then.
Okay.
All right.
No, I have to change my answer.
No, you can't
I know
change
it.
it.
Yes,
This
no,
is
no,
mine.
no. I
This is
totally
mine.
forgot about
Stop.
it. No. Okay,
The
I know
least
exactly
favorite
what
car
you're going to
reviewed is
say.
the Cadillac XT6.
Hands down. Hands down.
The
I
least
completely
favorite.
forgot about it. Yeah.
That's why I was shocked. I was like, there's no way he's not going to use the Cadillac.
Oh, I remember. We got that car. You spent several days in it. You called me over and said, I'm done with it. I want you to drive it.
I didn't tell you anything about it.
You said nothing about
I
it.
just like, here's the keys.
Go.
Take it.
Go. I made it 100 feet down the road, and I text you, what the hell is wrong with this car?
That car, man, come on, Cadillac.
Yeah.
Like, it was the first it was really the only Cadillac we've ever reviewed.
Yeah.
And we loved Cadillac. I love Cadillac as a brand. I absolutely love it. And that was a Lambda platform, last minute, let's build a Cadillac out of it. After years of Acadias and Traverses, and they said, let's take this platform, let's squeeze some more money out of it, sell it to Cadillac owners who need a 3-row but don't want to go Escalade. And dude, it was just crap.
Yeah.
It didn't drive well. It didn't feel that nice.
It was 800 pounds overweight.
It was so heavy.
Yeah. And like you said, the Lambda platform,
it was great when it came out.
Why people like it.
Yeah.
There are certain things it's better at than any other car in the space. And so I understand why they can be so popular, but I just, no. It just, like you said, it was slapped together at the last minute and it just didn't work.
It was bad.
Yeah.
The technology wasn't good. It just screamed Chevy and GMC. Like it didn't live up to the Cadillac label.
Yeah.
Fortunately, in my opinion anyway, most products that Cadillac pushes out these days live up to the brand, and they definitely reinvested in the brand. Love to review some more, but that was a bomb. And you know what sucked about that is that it took an act of Congress for us to actually get that car and review it.
Yes.
And it was the only one we got to do. And to be honest, you think, oh, well, we turned in a really bad review. I thought we were about as generous as we could be for what it was.
Because, like I said, there are things about it that it's really good at, and we're honest with people about what those things were, but handling, not on the list.
For sure.
Braking, not on the list. Tech, not on the list.
Comfort, quality.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What is a car you wish you could review? If there was one out there that you had in the garage, in the driveway tomorrow, what would it be?
Does it have to be out yet?
Let's see. Let's wait on cars coming out.
Okay.
Okay.
Car I wish I could review. This is gonna feel a little bit, but it'd have to be like the new 250 platform, the GX 550 or Land Cruiser. I don't know.
Technically
out, or the Grenadier. I think those are the two most exciting vehicles out right now, at least in this space. I guess it feels kind of like a pretty generic answer, but I really want to get my hands on them.
There's so much about both of those that I'm intrigued by. We got to see the Ineos this weekend up close. Didn't get to drive one, but we did get to see it. We were with the TFL guys, and they just unveiled the one that they purchased, and really striking vehicle. But the GX 550 ticks so many boxes. Like it might be the 4x4 SUV to own for the next 10 years. I mean, really, from when you start talking about price, value, quality, I'd love to drive one.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see that in the driveway. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I answer?
Yeah.
I heard this week a Corvette Z06. And I want to drive one of those because that thing sounds unbelievable. It looks great. Like, I love the C8. I don't love it from every angle,
Yeah.
but I do love the C8. And in the Z06 form, I've seen two here lately, and they both just look so much better. They look fantastic, and that engine, flat plane, crank, V8, screams, and it sounds like an exotic running down the road. So I would love to have one of those and see what the fuss is all about, and see if General Motors really delivered, right? Because its competitors cost twice as much, 3 times as much, and that might be the very best value in automotive going today, period. And I'd like to know for sure. Anything else? I said the one car, but anything make like an honorable mention list?
I haven't been in the new Supra, which is, oh, sorry, a little trailer sway.
Little trailer sway, got a lot of crosswind.
Yeah. So, to have an iconic nameplate like that revived, and in a way, the way that Toyota did it, I'm really interested in that car.
So, fun fact on the Supra, I was driving to one of the kids' theater performances the other night, and we're about 100 yards from an intersection, and I see that there's a Supra parked at the red light, and my wife surprisingly goes, "Oh, look at that Supra." My wife doesn't know cars.
What?
She doesn't know cars. But she knew that was a Supra, and I was like, what? I couldn't read the writing on the back or anything. And I was like, what? What? Okay. She goes, well, I had a couple friends in high school that had Supras. I know what Supras are.
That it's got that classic
mid-90s vibe.
Yeah, well, it's that ducktail kind of lip spoiler thing they got going on the trunk that carries over from those 90s Supras. So, yeah I can kind of see that.
I, humble brag, got to see the new Supra when it was unveiled at the Geneva Auto Show.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Geneva, world traveler.
Ooh. Humble brag.
So it just reminds me, because I'll never ever forget. I'll be in an old folks' home and like be rambling about this because you got home from that and immediately I think we went to go as a family out to eat, and you were wearing a Koenigsegg Jesco hat.
Yes.
Because you know they were all over Geneva, and the waiter asked if you owned a Koenigsegg.
Yeah. Hey, it's a cool hat. That was a great story. I was in Europe for work and realized I had an extra day and an opportunity lined up perfectly with that show, and I hopped over to that show, and it just happened to be the week, like 2 days after they had unveiled the new supercar, the new hypercar, and Christian von Koenigsegg and his dad happened to be sitting in the car on the stand when I walked up. And that was a crazy moment for me. I mean, that you're talking about a legend in the industry in his dad's car with his dad. I had to buy something, and that's all they would sell me. Okay, was a hat. So I had to get something just to commemorate that. That was wild.
Yeah.
Dude,
it just cracked me up because I'm like, tell me, Brian, what do you think the overlap is between Koenigsegg owners and owners of a Koenigsegg hat?
It's not much.
It's not a single one. I'm telling you right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a weird world. And I'll tell you how weird it was. The Geneva Motor Show is unlike anything else in the world. I wasn't prepared for what it turned out to be. You get to the airport and there's Learjets lining the runways. It is a billionaires show, and Ferrari, Rolls Royce, Lamborghini, there's the guys in France, Bugatti. They go all out, massive 2-story booths in this exhibit hall where they basically build nightclubs and bars, and they'll have 50 sales agents on the floor ready for you to sign for the new car they just unveiled that's going to come out, in 4 years. They're taking orders and they're taking money. cash is exchanging hands. So this is like, it's so high end. But on top of that, it actually has everything. Everything from Europe and Asia is at that show. So it is just an absolute massive show. And I would love to go back someday. That was really cool. All right, one car you wish you could review. We did that. Oh, my honorable mention, since I love Jeeps, is the Jeep 392. I would love to drive one of those for a week and see what that's all about. Okay, now I told you about this question earlier, and you got real cranky about it. Okay, because I think I had to narrow you down, and you don't want to play in this this box. If you could only have one car brand in your garage, what would it be? And that's badge, okay? So Honda, Toyota, not Toyota and Lexus, Dodge, Chevy, not Chevy, GMC, Cadillac. Nope. One badge in your car, in your garage. But you could have multiple cars from that brand. Which brand would you choose?
Yeah. This question kind of makes me depressed.
Okay. That's an interesting opener because it makes me think I know where you're going.
Yeah. Well, in the one badge thing is tough because, you know, I've got to have an adventure vehicle right now. You know, that's just where I'm at in life. And so, you know, but that badge can't be Jeep. I'm not interested in any of the Jeep SUVs. I'd only be interested in a Wrangler or a Gladiator.
I agree.
So if you could have the whole Stellantis badge and have a Jeep and a Ram, but those are really the only two labels under Stellantis that I'd be interested in. But, you know, there was a time when it would definitely probably be Audi or Volkswagen or something like that.
Yeah.
And we have turned our nose up at Lexus many times on this channel and in life. But what have we always said when anytime anybody asks us about Lexus?
It's the most reliable car you can buy.
Yeah. We get asked about we would get asked about cars all the time. That's why we started doing this channel, right?
Yeah.
And anytime someone asks, you know, about this or that or what should I look at now? What do you drive now? And if they said Lexus, what would we say?
Buy another one.
Buy another one. Well, first, do you like it? Yes. Buy another one.
Yeah.
Because
we
know how good they are, but they're boring. There's just no getting around it. The tech is always 5 years behind because they want to make sure it works.
Reliability, not innovation necessarily.
Yeah. And yet here I am driving this LX 570.
Yeah.
And I'm at a point in my life where I got rid of the 3 non-running Audis that were, there were definitely 4 non-running Audis in my garage or driveway at one time. No. So there is a second one that got towed off to charity because I didn't think about it because it was the non-run. Anyway, so I had 4 non-running Audis in my driveway or garage at one
How many of those
time.
had... I have 2 GX 470s at home, 2, okay? They both have over 200,000 miles on them. I bought them with over 200,000 miles on them. How many of those Audis had... What was the highest mileage on one of those Audis?
Well, I don't know how many miles were on the one that we bought that wasn't running when we bought it, right? Because I didn't care.
The one you know.
I'm going to say 165.
Okay, so 165 is the highest, and all 4 were dead.
Yeah.
I got 200,000 plus 4.7 liter V8s in my driveway, and as long as you maintain them, those cars are halfway through their usable life. You know, once we got into adventure space and once we needed more cars in the driveway for kids and for other people to be able to use, and I need to hand over the keys and I know that it's going to work, we now own, between us, 3 Lexus adventure vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's not to say they're not boring. They're still fairly boring.
Reliability is boring.
Now, Lexus and Toyota are flipping that script.
Yeah.
They really are. They're doing a great job. You know, the CEO of Toyota came out and said a couple of years ago, no more boring cars, right? And they've lived up to that. They really changed their game, styling, technology, all of it.
Yeah.
We will see how that translates into reliability going into the future.
Yeah.
They have such a good track record, and they have such good engineering practices and manufacturing practices that it should continue, but you just don't know. But I don't think you answered the question.
Yeah. So I think it's going to come down to Toyota or Lexus. It's probably going to end up being, actually, I was going to say Lexus, but I actually have to say Toyota, only because
of the Sienna?
well, that's part of it, but also
Okay.
they have trucks, and even though I'm not in the market for a
Dude.
truck right now, I have to have the option to buy a truck if I need it, and so I've got to go with Toyota. But also, yes, we are minivan whores in our family, so yeah, got to have the Sienna.
First mention of horrors on the channel. Hopefully the last.
It's all right.
All right.
Everyone stopped watching by now, so it's okay.
I don't know how to answer this question.
Okay. All right, we're still on the same question for you.
We are. You're going to think I'm crazy.
You gonna say Porsche?
I want to say Porsche. I want to say Porsche so bad.
So bad.
But the problem is the same one that you just brought up. I need truck family in the lineup because I know at some point I'm going to have another truck. Maybe sooner rather than later. Okay. Jeez.
Sorry. Winds are killing
And so I'm not a Tundra or Tacoma fan. Even the new Tacoma, just not a fan. So that takes that out. You're really left with Ford, GMC, Chevrolet, Ram. That's kind of it, right?
Yeah.
We're not going to bring Nissan into this discussion. And so out of all of those, I'm going to pick Chevrolet.
Okay. Now, good for you.
Yeah,
I mean,
know.
you could stay Jeep and have Gladiator and all those Jeep
You could go
crossovers that you
You
like.
could go Grand Wagoneer as
Yeah.
a nice big full-size towing SUV, if you want an Airstream or something like that later. But I think I would rather go, I'd rather stick with the Chevrolet, for that and get the more off-road capable, have the
Yeah.
engine choices,
Dude,
better reliability in
Yeah.
those engines. And I don't love the interior quality in the full-size SUVs. I don't love the approach, but they're still very comfortable. And if you want to crank out miles, it's a great vehicle.
Yeah.
The trucks, I do love their trucks. I especially really like the new
Colorado. Yeah.
a Colorado ZR2 Bison would be so high on the list, so high to replace a Jeep. It would just, you get so much capability, really good technology when the software is working.
And you've got electric options with Chevrolet also.
Dude, the Chevy Bolts we had were phenomenal everyday cars. My wife misses hers like crazy. And we still have one in the family. Mom's still driving one around. Those are great. They appear to have some really cool electric cars on the horizon coming out soon. They've had some issues. But yeah, if I had to have one and I have to have a car for everybody in the family, that would be it. We do have a Chevy Trax in our driveway now, a 2024 Chevy Trax, which has been a brilliant car for what it is. It's won all kinds of awards. We still need to do a review on that. If I can get you in it, long enough, he hates it. He hates it.
I
And
don't
understand
hate
why he
it.
hates it.
I don't hate it.
Look, it's
We'll
it's
save
like
that further.
we will. It's going to be a great review. I promise you that. It will be very entertaining. If you like this
Like
video,
and
you'll
subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. It's the third time in this video. Okay, so for me, it's Chevrolet. I actually kind of hated saying that, but
Well, I hated hearing it, to be
I know
honest.
you did. I know you did. All right, let's see. Next question. We hinted at this earlier. What is a car that is not out yet here in the next year, year and a half that you're most excited about? That you can't wait to either see or, drive, whatever.
Yeah, that's an easy one. We've done a whole video talking about it. We rambled on about it for like 30 minutes. That's the new Ram Charger. Ram Charger.
The Ram Charger.
Ram.
Series hybrid.
Yeah.
All he's
Go
gonna
watch
say
that
about
video.
Yeah, go watch that video.
Yeah.
That, it's interesting because even since we did our video, more and more auto journalists are starting to wake up to what that is.
Yeah. Maybe they watched our video.
Maybe.
And realized how dumb they've been.
Because, as we said, a lot of derision around plug-in hybrids and their place in the electrified world.
Mm-hmm.
And we've long been proponents, hoping that we could get to a point where we had something like the Ram Charger. Yeah. And we're going to have it soon. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait. I really, really hope more manufacturers follow suit and come out with platforms like that. So that's a really good answer. I'm trying to think ahead here. 2025. That's such a good answer. I'm not sure I have one like it.
Maybe the Gladiator 4xe. Maybe the new Hurricane engine.
Let's say the new 4xe family, because I have the Jeep 4xe now, and 2022. They made some incremental enhancements to packaging in 2024, but they promised something for the 2025 model year. Gladiator's getting a 4xe, and whatever changes they make are also going to show up in the Wrangler. And we're being told probably to expect more range or more efficiency, maybe a new battery, push that range beyond what's realistically today 22 to 24 miles on a charge. It would be great to see something north of 30. I don't know how realistic that is without a step change in battery chemistry and size. So anything will be better. If it goes up, great. So looking forward to that because I would like to replace the current Jeep with a 2025 Wrangler. That's my goal. It has some capability for camping and power usage in the outdoors that I'd like to have. And if it's a bigger battery, all the better. So, yeah, that's my answer. Thanks for answering for me. You are correct. All right, let's see. Worst trend in automotive industry.
This is a good one. Worst trend. I would be tempted to go something really kind of silly and superficial, like tall, narrow screens taking up the middle of your dash, stuff like that. Fewer and fewer buttons, hard buttons. But I'm actually going to say one word: subscription.
I had not thought of that.
And it encompasses a lot of things. But I don't like the little hints we've been getting from the industry about, subscription. You're talking about unlocking features with subscriptions, right? Basically, every car now, if you have remote start, it's almost always going to require an app and a yearly subscription in perpetuity, right?
Yep.
But the more insidious trend is they keep hinting at basically subscribing to your car, and going to this where like you basically can't even buy a car, you can hardly even have the car service. And so I just don't really like when I hear manufacturers say stuff that makes me think we're creeping more and more towards that.
That's a really interesting point. Now, there's certain things that an auto manufacturer might provide that does make sense to me to pay a little extra per month for a service that's not, it's not a button I'm pushing in the car. Like heated
Right.
seats, BMW tried this and they ended up walking
Right.
it back.
Android Auto.
Android Auto, they did that and CarPlay, ridiculous. Okay. But things like Super Cruise, where they continue to add
Right.
additional functionality, more roads, updated maps, all of those things into the future. So you get it for 3 years, and then I think you got to pay for it. There's going to be people who don't like it and don't want to use it. Okay, I kind of get that. I do hate remote start being in the app, makes me crazy. So shout out Kia for building true remote start into your vehicle still on the key fob.
Yeah.
You can do it through an app.
Yeah.
You can't
Via subscription,
via
if you
subscription.
want to pay for it. But to your point, look, web connectivity, like that's an ongoing cost for the manufacturer.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that some of those things make sense to me. Remote unlock, I get it. They got to support the app. They want to deliver new features. Then I don't like how much they ask people to pay for it. I think it's too much, to be honest.
Right.
And I also don't like. Check this out. Be careful out there. If you ever turn in a General Motors vehicle with OnStar, make sure you call and cancel your OnStar subscription, because even after you turn the vehicle in or sell it back to the dealer, that's still going. I found that out the hard way. So, quick point. Not a good one.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay, so I think for me, one of the things I really, you said screens and buttons, and I think that points to a larger narrative in that car manufacturers seemed to stop really listening to consumers somewhere along the way.
Wow.
They started coming up with really good ideas, or they were influenced by some other products that made them make bad decisions, right? You're getting all these vertical screens and no buttons because of one car company and one car company only, and that's Tesla. And Tesla is a Silicon Valley car for Silicon Valley people. Very wise person said that to me once. And, early adopters, iPhone folks, they just wanted the screen. That's all they wanted. But man, that just doesn't make a lot of sense for the vast majority of people. And so that, the impact of Tesla was an adverse impact on a lot of other manufacturers. They went all in on it. And I think if they had actually listened to their customers, they wouldn't have done it. And they're starting to walk that back.
Yeah, we should point that out. I mean, big props to Volkswagen, who now, this wasn't even a screen issue necessarily, but it's related. Like you said, they had gone to all these capacitive touch buttons in their cars. And so now they're starting to walk that back based on consumer feedback and give people, they're not changing like the function of the buttons, they're just changing how they work, right? It's like gone back to the old, just you can press it.
Yeah. And even the ones who are still doing big screens, they're still putting large screens in the car. Don't get us wrong.
Right.
But they are starting to include more buttons for basic functions, for volume, changing a radio station, changing your climate controls. Climate controls is the most important one. Being able to reach down and know where the fan speed knob is.
Without looking.
And okay, temperature too. Temperature's great, but fan speed's the most important one. Why? Because when the fan is cranked all the way up, it's really loud. And there's times where you just need to be able to hear things, reach down, boom. I know where that is. It's off. Now I can hear. I can mute my radio with the knob. No brainers. Okay, drove us nuts when it started. And but my point is, listen to your customers. Okay, don't just react to what everybody else is doing. There's a lot of fads, okay, that have taken hold, and there's some government fads out there too around pure EVs. Well, we skip plug-in hybrids. So listen to what your consumers actually want. They would have told you they wanted plug-ins. They would have told you that, just like we told you. Okay, what is a trend you would like to see in the automotive industry.
Oh no. Oh,
I know what
gosh.
mine is.
Yeah.
You want me to go? Can
Yeah,
I go
go
first?
ahead.
I haven't gotten to go first. I want to go first.
Yeah.
I want to see more adventure-focused vehicles in the market. I want more choices, and I want just like what Lexus is doing with the GX 550. Not only did they build a really great product with really good outdoor off-road technology, but they're offering you a ton of options with it. Like you can build out an overland GX 550 basically between factory and dealer accessories. Jeep is, thank God Bronco came around because it made Jeep take another step forward and start to offer more and more options. I love seeing the return of the 17-inch rim for tires in the off-road industry, and customization is what's brought a lot of that back. And I just want to see more and more of that. I want to see Toyota come out with a vehicle with a removable roof. I'd love to see Rivian do that. And there are R2 that's going to be unveiled in a week. It'd be great if Land Rover innovated in that space. Like, give people more experience with their adventure vehicles. That's a trend I want to see. Did you think of one?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Just punt.
Yeah. I'm punting.
He's punting. All right. Let's take a look at the list. Oh,
Was
that's
that
the
end
list.
of the list?
That's the end of the list. Do you have any other questions that came to mind while we were doing this? We've killed an hour. We're almost to New Mexico.
Maybe. I guess. I mean, what qualifies as an adventure vehicle to you? Because I feel like there's already been a pretty big explosion in this space, So, everybody's got a truck now. You mentioned like the ZR2 and the Bison. Like everyone's like, you know what? I gotta have, a version of this vehicle that does that. I just feel like there's been a ton come out lately.
So I guess what I need to do is amend my answer because I just want to see more and more innovation and experience added into what they build. Like, I was listening to one of the TFL podcasts about the new 4Runner that's coming out. We still haven't seen it. All right. Now you've got Land Cruiser. Well, Land Cruiser presents a unique opportunity to Toyota to do something really cool with that vehicle, and I'm afraid they're not going to do it. It's going to be Tacoma with a cab, a full cab, and that's it. And that's all we're going to get. And they may call it good. And now they're going to have all of these SUVs and crossovers in their lineup that are just kind of different sizes that aren't all that different. Whereas, you remember like when the FJ came out? Like the new FJ, the new one, the most recent FJ.
Right.
At least it was unique.
Yeah.
Right? Like the two-door form factor, this really cool look. Like people really still love those things. I would love to see a 4Runner that goes after Jeep and Bronco. That's what I would love to see. Because I think they don't have anything like that. That goes after that market. It is not the same as a...
No, GX and even though they're both independent front, solid rear, Land Cruiser, 4Runner, none of those are really like a Bronco.
Right.
Yeah, or Jeep for that matter. Yeah, and hey, there have been 4Runners with like removable roofs in the past. So yeah, that would be something really cool. Bring it back.
Let's do a roll cage.
Yeah.
Let's do some removable panels. Let's let's do 35s from the factory. Let's Jeep and Bronco offer you now. Like, let's get after it. Bring some hybridization into that discussion too. In power, they're bringing some of those things into the current products. But man, no more boring cars. Don't make the 4Runner boring.
Yeah.
And, Land Rover could up their game in that space as well. They gave us the Defender 110 and the Defender 90, but they could even take it up a notch. So. And there's plenty of other manufacturers out there that could do it if they wanted to do it. It's just got to make sense, I guess.
Well, hey, one thing we talked about doing that we forgot about was the 4-car lottery garage.
Oh, dude, is that worth like its own video?
Maybe so.
I think we'll save that one then. We may come back to that.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're interested in that, you're now a multimillionaire. Money is no object. What 4 cars, you only get 4, are sitting in your garage? I know you're going to buy more than 4. We're going to buy it will be asinine how many cars we end up buying. I'm already feeling guilty about it, and I don't have the money. So that's worth a subscription all by itself. Thanks for watching.